Hi guys, it's ASBYT and welcome back to a brand new video. Now very soon we're going to be welcoming onto the market the OnePlus 7 and the Pocophone or Poco F2. So in this video we're going to be looking at exactly what to expect from both of those devices and how this might potentially be a career defining? That's not right. A brand defining battle between the two for some much needed market share. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Right, so today we're going to be going over all of the latest leaks and rumours of the OnePlus 7 and the Pocophone F2 or Poco F2, and I'm also going to be going over why this next device from both of these brands, OnePlus and Xiaomi or Pocophone, could be so crucial. Right, so first up, let's discuss the OnePlus 7, and if rumours are to be true, we're going to see three different models: the OnePlus 7, the OnePlus 7 Pro, and the OnePlus 7 5G. And of course, Pro models are all the rage now with many different companies. We also believe the launch is only a few weeks away, and I for one am excited. First of all, let's touch on the much talked about potential hands-on leak of the OnePlus 7 Pro. We believe there's going to be a Pro model, which is going to be a bumped up version of the standard model, which I kind of think makes sense because a lot of OnePlus fans love the devices, but some of them want a few extra features that the standard model simply can't do in order to keep it into that price bracket, which has been a brand trait. Hence the reason why OnePlus in the past have been known as a flagship killer. Now, one of the big things about this hands-on leak was the display, which appeared curved, much like we've seen from Samsung and Huawei in the last few years. Now, this design usually is more expensive to create than a flat display, and as a result, it's probably going to cost more for the consumer. And this is where, if there is a Pro model, OnePlus have been quite smart, because if they had just brought this feature into a standard OnePlus 7, then their brand identity would actually shift from flagship killer to flagship with a price tag to boot. Now, as well as being curved, the display is apparently on the Pro model going to be a Quad HD Plus panel with a 90 Hz refresh rate, higher than what we've seen on most devices, not quite as high as the 120 that we see on the Razer and Razer 2, but still, for gaming, for example, it's going to be great. Now, in this leak, it has the specs of the Snapdragon 855, and that Snapdragon 855 is going to be the SoC that's going to run right across the board of devices that they're going to launch this year. 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. Now, if you're a person who wants massive amount of internal built-in storage, I don't think the OnePlus 7 is going to be for you. And in fact, OnePlus devices going forwards, I can't imagine them focusing too much on internal storage due to the fact that Pete Lau, the CEO, has actually already come out and said that with developments in 5G technology and of course the resultant cloud storage, there's going to be less focus on building up that internal storage. Now, if we're talking about the camera, the latest rumor is we're going to see a dual camera setup on the OnePlus 7 standard and a triple camera setup on the Pro, with the current 2019 trend with a 48 megapixel sensor, a wide angle and a telephoto lens. The Pro model is going to be 6.67 inches, again we're led to believe. Now, one other thing you might notice from the hands-on leak is the fact that there is no front-facing camera, and that's because it's been rumored for quite a long time now that we're going to see a pop-up lens on the OnePlus 7 and indeed now the OnePlus 7 Pro. So first question of the video, let me know in the comments, yay or nay to the pop-up camera, and of course yay or nay to the curved or flat display. Now, of course, the picture in reference to the specs in this hands-on leak is the OnePlus 6T, which could of course mean it's fake, but also it might just mean they don't have a picture of the OnePlus 7 to put on the spec sheet yet. Now, in terms of battery, we're potentially looking at a 4000 mAh capacity on the standard model and a 4150 on the Pro. And it's going to use the warp charge technology seen on the OnePlus 6T McLaren edition, which is a 30 watt fast charger. Also, some rumors of wireless charging and stereo speakers have been bandied about. Nothing confirmed by OnePlus, but certainly a lot of consumers are interested in those features, and they might be something that are included in the Pro model. Now we're going to jump onto the Pocophone F2 or Poco F2 before a final discussion on both. So the Pocophone F1 was one of, if not the most popular device of 2019 due to its top-end specs and really almost less than mid-range price. As a result, obviously many people are excited for the second edition, which is again also like the OnePlus 7 due to be announced pretty soon. So what's going to be different on the second edition? Well, for a start, again like the OnePlus 7, we're going to see the Snapdragon 855. The display is going to be different from the original. One of the main downsides of that original is the large notch, very similar to the Xiaomi Mi 8 or the iPhone 10, 10s, and already, even though it's only a year old, looks pretty dated for that reason. With the new teardrop or dewdrop design, it's very in keeping with late 2018, early 2019, where unless you're using a pop-up or a punch-hole cutout, that is generally going to be the display. Also on the Poco F2, we're going to see liquid cooling, and in terms of the camera, again in keeping with this current trend, a 48 megapixel lens is going to be included, the same as what we can see on the Redmi Note 7. Now as a result, with all these things considered, Pocophone, the sort of mid-range or budget sub-brand of Xiaomi, are going to produce a phone which is going to look very similar to Xiaomi's flagship, the Mi 9. It's going to have very similar internals, if not better in certain areas, and it's going to be cheaper. Voice crack. Apparently I'm going through puberty. It's great. And it begs the question, why Xiaomi allow this to happen? And all in all, it's going to be another absolute powerhouse. And if it can do that at a similar price to the Pocophone F1, this could really shake things up. So finally, in terms of the original point I made at the start of the video, the OnePlus 7 versus the Pocophone or Poco F2, and why this year it's such an important release for both of those companies, is that they massively need to get the price right. On the OnePlus side of things, they were a flagship killer. The price was pretty low, but the price has been creeping up in recent years, and with emerging smartphones like Honor, like Pocophone, that are all competing for that market share, if they go from flagship killer to flagship and increase the price, then they could completely lose their brand identity. And this is why potentially OnePlus might be looking at this Pro to offer a full-feature alternative without alienating the original community. And finally, equally, this is a hugely important release from Pocophone. The F1 was the company's first, but if the second edition's price is too high, all that good work will be undone, as we've seen so many times from brands before. They've started low to get the publicity, they've hiked the prices up, and the brand has died. If they can keep that low price and continue to build that community, we could have a world beater on our hands. And I'm signing out with that. Let me know in the comment section below which of these devices are you most looking forward to, which brand you prefer. Like and share if you did enjoy this video and found it helpful. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you're new to the channel and want to be notified every time I post a video on anything tech, pretty much daily content here on YouTube. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. ASBYT, peace out.